Hello. I assume you're here because you're coming to join me on this little wander out into the woods. Now you may be thinking we're going to set off in this uneconomical, environmentally unfriendly truck. Well, the reason it's here is because years ago the government, they told us buy diesel, it's better for the environment, better for fuel consumption, better for road tax, better for everything. And now what did he tell us? Scrap them, they're ruining the planet. So let it not be said that I don't do things for the planet. So we're not going to take this, we're using Shank's pony. And I'm not talking about pony from Mr. Shanks. No horses in this video. Yeah, for those of you who aren't familiar with the term, what I'm referring to is these two things that are attached to my bottom. Whether they'll stand up to the day better than this would, we will wait and see. Anyway, for those of you who've tuned in to my YouTube reviews channel, this is what you'll be waiting for me to talk about. And I'm going to fit this in along with my Clarky's Adventures channel, which is what you're going to be coming with me on. And if you are coming with me, make sure you bring your sleeping bag, because we won't be back till tomorrow. So yeah, if you're waiting to hear a little bit about this, I shan't be going into a lot of detail about, say, the fabrics and that type of stuff about this, but I will be giving you my opinion. Okay, let's pop this over the shoulder and get going. Basically, there we go. Yeah, nice and comfortable. I'm not going to tie my waist belt on yet because it's 6 o'clock in the morning and we're going to be talking about certain things to do with the weather later and how it can affect you. And I'm just going to take a little stroll up there and decide whether to take this jacket off or not. Anyway, let's make a start. Come on then. So I've arrived on site where I'm going to stay the night as part of my Clarky's Adventure video. But for you people who are thinking of buying one of these, now as I said, I'm not going to go into great detail about the fabric, the buckles, the construction, the stitching. I'm just going to give you my view on it. You'll be able to have a look at what I've got inside it, because I'll film that bit as part of my other video. But I bought this from Military First, who are in Manchester, England, and I was a bit sceptical about what it would be like, because you buy this stuff that's, you know, supposedly based on military type equipment, or supposed to be roughy tufty, and sometimes you can be disappointed. But I wanted just a small 20-litre rucksack, but that I could use it for carrying a little bit extra if need be. And so all these molly fastenings here are quite useful. On the side here I've got my first aid kit, and I've got 2 pouches on here for water bottles either side, and I've also, and I'll take this out now actually, I'll unclip this, brought my little stool along. It's a little luxury. You get to an age where you sit down and you don't know whether you're going to be able to get up again, so sitting halfway down helps. I had my jacket that I'm kneeling on now strapped into the back there. At the bottom here, these two straps for popping something in, and in my case I've got just a warm jacket. I don't think I'm going to need it. I also have a long sleeve shirt because if it was too hot I'd want to cover my arms up to protect me from the sun. The only thing that I'm not happy with these is that they don't detach. So getting my fleece in here was a bit tight to fit it in, but when you tighten them up you see you've got loads of slack. So if I had a couple of clips there it would be easier to disconnect them, put whatever's on there, then connect them back up and tighten it up. Just a small thing. I've seen some criticism as well about, on reviews that is, about the length of this. One gentleman who has a very good review on it was quite a bulky man and quite broad shoulders, twice as big as me, and he found that it wasn't coming round here far enough for him to be as comfortable as he would like. He didn't criticise it for that, he just said it's something that he would have preferred to be slightly longer. For me, with my small frame, this has been okay. Now, one of the things I was concerned about was the weight I put in it. Normally, I would be carrying about 15 pounds in here maximum. I tend to use this rucksack not for going out walking so much, it's when I'm travelling. I take it on planes with me because of the options inside of where to store things. I find it's very useful when you're moving around and you might be getting on a train, you might be getting on a plane and you just want certain things out, and it's easy to organise inside so you know where everything is. And this time I've added 25 pounds to the weight. So 25 pounds, as far as rucksacks go, it's not normally a lot, but I had no idea how this would perform. So firstly, the straps didn't bite in as much as I thought they would for a 20-litre rucksack. I've checked all the stitching around the top, it's still all very good. In fact, I'm really impressed with the stitching on this. It's quite substantial. This grab handle, when you pick this up you feel as though you could swing it round like one of those athletes with the ball on the end of the chain and throw it. I haven't used the water bladder, but there's the hole in there for that. So 2.5 years I've had it, and as you'll know because you're looking for this one, the Helikon Raccoon, let me think of the name, the Helikon Raccoon MK. All the features I've found very useful, and it's stood up to a lot of wear and tear. It's been thrown around a lot and it's been abused, and it's 2.5 years old and it's still as good as the day when I bought it. I thought the zips might be a weakness, but they're not. They're good solid zips. So after using this for 2.5 years, anybody who wants this type of rucksack, I would recommend it. And shortly I'm going to take everything out of this and prepare my camp for the evening. So when I do that, we'll add that little bit in and you can see how much stuff I've actually got into this thing. But yeah, I'd say buy one if you're interested. And the price, to be fair, it's maybe on the upper end for 20 litres. You're looking at between, in pounds, 70 to 90 pounds. But on reflection, I think I paid about 72, and that was 2.5 years ago. it's been well worth it. And as far as getting more detail on this, Military First website, they have a video that goes with this where one of their people will open it up and show you all the compartments, and there are one or two other videos on YouTube where they'll tell you all about the material, the Condura material, and what denier it is, all this sort of stuff. But I tend not to be too worried about that. I just buy it, use it, and then make up my mind if I've been a muppet and spent the money unwisely. So yeah, Helikon Raccoon Mark II, 20 litre, well worth the money spent on it. So the rucksack, as you can see, I've taken the water bottles out either side. In this one there is actually a mug as well, which is what I'm going to be using for preparing my teaing, or should we say evening meal, I don't know, or dinner even, I don't know. First aid kit is always somewhere accessible, because I never know when I'm going to need that. So let's open this rucksack and see what we've managed to stuff into it. Well, the first thing is we've got 2 pair of glasses. That's because sometimes he needs to see over there and sometimes he needs to see here. Blind as a bat. Battery pack. And I'm a little bit annoyed about batteries because I've been using this Nikon Coolpix camera all day. I only brought 2 batteries for it and I didn't bring the charger because in here I've got my other bigger camera, because it's been in the woods. I thought it was going to be noisy with maybe a breeze, wind, rustling, so I brought the other bigger camera with the remote microphones, thinking I'd just need that camera that's pointing at me now just for some long shots or some close-up. Anyway, it is what it is. This is my latest edition. This is a poncho. In fact, I probably won't be getting it out. I may get it out actually to put on the ground, but we'll see. But if you want to see what I look like in the poncho in the rain, have a look at this little picture to the left. Yeah, pretty glamorous, don't I? You know, all I've got to do is, it's designed for anybody any size, so all I've got to do is sit down and like I'm in my own wigwam. Poncho. Wayfarer meal, chilli and rice. And then we've got a box which is full of all sorts of goodies. There's, if just on the off chance that I did have to do a bit of bushcraft survival stuff, I've got my ferrocium rod in there, and I've got lighters and matches and all sorts of bits and pieces. I've got the burner for this particular item, so I brought the gas bottle along, so this is how we're going to warm up our meal later. Pop that in this pot in here and warm it up a little bit, although in this weather it's going to be almost warm enough as it is. Toilet paper. I know there's not a lot. If worse comes to worse, I can always use some leaves, you know, or drag me bum along the ground or something. Anyway, there's ways. Zip bag. And this is for rubbish. Anything I use, I will not be leaving out here. Everything will be coming back with me. I thought about making some tent pegs when I got here, and then I decided, what the hell, let's take a few with us. So I brought my Alp kit, A-beams or whatever they're called, I can't remember now. I did a little review on them, and in here we've also got a load of paracord, which we're going to need when we put the tarp up. We've got Mora knife, and again, to save weight, I brought the stainless steel one because it's lighter than the carbon steel one. Everything's aimed to keep the weight down. In these compartments here, I've got a pen there. Normally I would carry a pencil because a pen can die on you. A pencil, as long as there's lead in it and you've got a penknife to sharpen it, will go forever. And also, I make that many mistakes when I write something. A pencil's better. I keep rubbing it out and nobody knows how thick I am. I'm not going to take these out of here. I've got the Rode microphones in here and I've got the spare batteries, plenty of spare batteries for the big camera. So that's the front organiser pouch. Got a little key on here for keys. I didn't bring any keys at all because I came on Shank's pony, didn't I? Didn't need to bring any keys. Right, let's open up the main pack now. Again, the zip just goes down halfway. I'm going to tilt that forward. What have I got in here? Oh yes. Oh, the repair kit for the thermarest, should I punch a hole in it. It happened to me once on a survival course where my airbed went down in the middle of the night, and that's because I slept too close to the fire. It was in winter. The sparks blew off and psst, it went down. For the last 2 days, well, it was a survival course. I had to go and get myself a load of bracken and everything and some leaves and make myself a bed. I always bring a book because I'm old-fashioned and I don't like reading stuff off my phone, probably because I can't see it very well without my glasses. And in here we've got chocolate and snacks. Now I should have had one of them already today, but I haven't. Again, just in case I decided to get into survival mode, I brought my saw with me. I don't think I'm going to need them for anything. Next packed in, this is an out kit. Now I've had this quite a while, but I've never used it in a video. I usually tend to use the big DD tarp, which, as it says, is bigger. This is only about, I honestly can't remember, maybe it's 2.5 by 3, I reckon it's 3 by 3. Anyway, we'll see when we get it out. But again, it's smaller and lighter than the big DD tarp I've got. Camera. It's going to turn out I didn't need this, and I've had to lug it around and it's quite heavy. So, something I have used in a video before. This is the Alpkit Hunker, the small version because I'm a small person. And we'll be crawling into that later in the evening, probably with all the insects as well, because insects seem to like to live in there. What else we got? Then we've got the thermarest, which weighs next to nothing, about 300 grams. Now, sleeping bag. This is the interesting bit. Before I decided to do this with this rucksack, I had to see if I had a sleeping bag that would actually fit. And I'm pleased to say that it does. And the one I'm using you probably can't buy anymore because I've had this for a long time. I have looked on the internet and I have found them for sale, but I looked on Vango's own site and I couldn't find one, so maybe they've got an updated one now and this is not on sale anymore, or not in production anyway. This is the Vango Planet 100. Now, interestingly enough, the Rab Neutrino down bag that I use weighs almost the same as this, but it's twice as big, so it won't go in that pack. This, I ain't gonna, yes, I'll leave it in there for the moment. I don't want it full of insects initially. This is only good really. Now I don't know what it says on it. I'll have a look when I get it out. But generally speaking, it's quite a thin sleeping bag, and I would say you don't want to use it less than say 8 degrees. I have used it once in my hammock a couple of years ago, and it was about 7-8 degrees, and I wasn't as warm as I would like to have been. Anyway, tonight it's expected to stay at least as high as 18 degrees to 17, so I think with the Hunker bivvy bag I'm going to be plenty warm enough in this. So there you have it, everything you need for 1 or 2 days out camping.